All right, we're working hard, we're working easy, and training a lot keeps me alive and keeps me in balance as well. And I realized that I've just, found a way to work even more on the computer as I'm training more at nighttime. I think the goal really is to train 4 hours. Like, let's stay with, you know, with 2 hours, 5 nights per week. And then we will see how that turns out and how that works out. And but yeah, that is certainly the level where I will be next year, and prioritizing that, right? Making that the goal until the end of that year, 2026, until the end of 26, to be able to train 5 days per week, 2 hours per day. And yeah, then go to bed and get up at 5. And Fridays training 2 sessions because I like it. Yeah, and I realized that now is the time to get the content algorithms back again in order and back trained, or rather, generally speaking, trained towards the topic that I definitely do want to talk about and think about, right? Because the algorithm is reading the video, it is reading the voice and the words and everything that I speak. And so with that, yeah, the question right now, as we are going to the daily reflections, is at this weekend, let's actually write it out, the goals for this weekend, because we do goal setting. What else would I do? There's path 1, the agency path, and path 2, the business path. That is the suggestion that I'm going to make tomorrow. And let's make it stupid simple. Like, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go and take a look in the 100. And I utilized that as the goal. That was like one meta and one playbook that everybody was following there. And it worked. It worked for a lot of people, and it was so simple. Here's what the meta was. Rule of 100, get people on a call, follow the script, sell annual. That was the meta. And it worked for a lot of people. And here's the meta that we're gonna do for the agency route in particular. For the agency route, the meta that has been proven to work over and over and over and over again. And I can give you some examples of the current Grow with Jack cohort. It's Richard Hawley. Maybe I shouldn't say the name, but that's what I'm gonna say to them on Monday. So I won't say the name, but like, name redacted. He found that way, and it's been working for him. The other person, name redacted, it has been working for him. So like, this is the meta. Like, decide on use case, build as much as you need for your own confidence, but check with the coaches whether you have some unhealthy, lack of confidence in some kind of capacity. And then go talk to people. Like, talk to people in your warm network, warm outreach, and in person. In person also, join the Chamber of Commerce. And whenever anybody says like, that's not for me, it's like, I will not let this pass. It's like, you can be an introvert and an agency owner, and you can still, talk to people. Because you want to be in business, you got to talk to people. Now, maybe you don't need to talk to people, but you have to be able to talk to somebody. Because it is in the customer conversation. Because even if you were to utilize AI, it is always conversation with the customer, even if it's just through copywriting. And you will need to know what that means and what good looks like. And so I think, from my current perspective, there is no downside to talking to the customer. That's exactly what should be done as an agency. That's the meta. Like, talking about the meta, that's how you play it. Unless, and these are the edge cases, unless you really come to the program with vast amounts of cold outreach, like Peter, for example. Like, he's great at it, but he's not just starting with that first time he talks to people. He has figured that for years. And he knows what he's talking about. He's not just sending some Like, we gotta have some common sense here. When people just send these generic messages to like their LinkedIn connections, they get crickets. Like, obviously. And like, rightfully so, because they suck. The message sucks. Right? But they don't to the people that know them. And everybody knows somebody. And if you don't know anybody, then now is the time to build your network. It's like AI soon enough can build what you do 100 times better, 100 times faster. So how are you going to think you're going to be a better builder than AI? You are not. But your human capacity, that is what's important. The people who know, the people you serve, and your human judgment and who you are as a person. The things you're able to say no to, and what you're willing to say yes to, what you're willing to do and what you're willing to give up, all of that contributes. All of that contributes. And so with that is what I want to get across tomorrow. There is an agency path, and there is a path if you're an existing business owner. If you're an existing business owner, you basically do a self-audit. Like, you do a self-audit, and then you take a look at the case studies. Right? And then going forward, together with the case studies, we're going to elaborate. And then going forward, together with the case studies, we are going to elaborate what's actually working in the marketplace, and inspired by that, by the real case studies. And by the way, I don't care, man. Like, you can get the case studies. I don't mean to make it all about me. Like, it's whoever collects the case studies, right? I just think I'm the right person to do that. But, you know, find another way. Like, make it an automation. Make it part of the process. Like, I do not care, but that's what is important. Trust me or trust me not, but like, get Mike to ask Hormozi that question. Like, does it make sense to collect case studies and proof? And I would be so surprised if he said no. Like, I know I'm right. So, you know, let's do it. Let's just do it. It's just hard to do because we got to actually talk to people and like ask them and build a relation. But I do not mind. Like, I love that. I would not. I'm like, if I were to need to build, I mean, I love what Garrett White says. He said, like, he's the guy who endorsed ClickFunnels earlier. He's like, I feel like pounding whiskey and throwing my laptop out of the window when things don't work. I'm like, that's exactly what I feel like. I'm like, I do not have that capacity, nor do I care. Because soon enough I won't need this anymore. I mean, we're already there. I just need to speak it, right? But that's beside the point. The point is, I love building relationships. Right? And that's what, in my opinion, we should do. As all of us have now the capacity to build faster, better than ever, we gotta find out what's working. We are in this beautiful position to have this prime edge, cutting edge private equity education of like what's really happening in business processes. This is tremendous. This is so valuable. We're learning about the processes that make up a business. We're learning about the skeleton, the bones, the arteries of every business, the very lifeblood that keeps this system alive. What a fantastic journey, right? And so the very lifeblood that keeps this fantastic business alive. And so yeah, that's what it is. And now I own that I am becoming that public figure, that public person, the speaker, the commenter on recent events, going forward, learning how to put that into the right places on YouTube, right? And becoming that person. I have become that person already. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. And so yeah, that's what I'm going to suggest tomorrow. I'm going to suggest that we're going to do, number one, an agency path, and then we have a business path. For the business path, the meta is self-audit according to the theory of constraints. You audit your own business, and then you go and build. And then you go and take a look at the basic training in the classroom. And I think the basics, that's all good. But I think, you know, we need to put another repetition in, because frankly, that's part of the work here also. I will need to say, it's like, I know you got the SaaS right now, but like, you know, you chose to do a community. You can't just do the classroom one time. You gotta do like iterations of it, in my fair opinion. Like, you know, you gotta make it better. And that classroom was built like over a while. I think like clean the slate. Do it one more time for 26. Right? And we'll see if we let like another year pass or maybe two, but like I think it's time to like swipe the plate clean. And I think it's gonna take you over the holidays, man. It's gonna be easy. Like just work a little bit. Now with a better background, you've become a much better YouTuber, much better speaker. Not that I have the ability to judge it, because I'm not a great YouTuber either, but like I think you are. You have so much improved, in my fair opinion. And I commend you for that. This is like beautiful leadership, really. And yeah, but I do think that the classroom needs like a whole revamp. And so here's what I would suggest. And I know that's going to sound a little bit radical, but I know you're not opposed to the extreme. But I know you as a fighter, you're not opposed to the extreme. Like you wouldn't be opposed to the extreme, especially if it pays. So here's what I suggest. You would not be opposed to the extreme, especially when it pays. And so here's what I suggest. Here's what I suggest. And by the way, suggest, like, I'm not in any way attached to it. In fact, I don't really care very much about the classroom. I care really more about one-on-ones and like supporting the best members who actually don't really need the classroom. That's what I really care about. But you know, I'm happy to work with you in the classroom, because I do think I have a very thorough understanding of people need and how I would do it. And it's always easy to judge from the outside. I totally get it. But that's where we gotta, you know, talk to each other and be coachable. Right? We can all take each other's advice. Anyway, that's a long premise. I'm sorry for being this long. So, anyways, I think there is a dual road that we will take. One, the A team, and B, the B brothers, the B team, whatever cool name we come up with. A for agency, B for business. A for agency if you want to sell AI as services. And then we have a whole catalog of businesses, of use cases that we have that people can take a look at. Now the agency route has one playbook and one playbook only. And by the way, also I wouldn't include SaaS. It's an edge case. Like if people want to do SaaS, tell them to come to the coffee chats and ask you directly. Like there's no playbook for SaaS. Like you gotta find a use case and build it. Like let's not overcomplicate it. Like we have so few SaaS builders who actually want to do that. Kathleen comes to mind. Sabrina has built a SaaS. Very early on, Noel, but he didn't even follow through, I guess, right, with that. Like, who's actually winning with SaaS? Tell me, like, who? So I don't think we need to consider that. If people really want it, like, that's what Hormozi says, like, just take it out and see if people complain. If they complain, then I'm wrong. Totally easy. Like, it's fine, then we put it back in. But I think let's make it super stupid simple. Kiss people on the forehead. Bless them with simplicity. So keep it stupid simple. Kiss people on the forehead. Bless them with simplicity. Keep it super simple. So, A route and B route for agency and for business. That's what I would suggest. A route and B route. A for agency and B for business. Right? Kiss people on the forehead. Bless them with simplicity. That's what I would suggest. A route and B route. Keep it super simple. Superb simple. Keep it splendidly simple. Right? Kiss people on the forehead. Bless them with simplicity. Keep it splendidly simple. Right? A route and B route. Agency and business. Agency if you want to serve. Agency with that service. B if you want to be a business owner. B if you are an existing business owner. And like, you know, self-identify. Like, do not start until you've come to an onboarding call. Like, we gotta give people like a proper playbook, like a proper thing, like we had in the 100 of like, everybody who comes to the community, if you mean this here, come to a call. Or at least Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody of the admin team. Talk to Lainey, talk to Adam, talk to Florian. Maybe not Adam if he doesn't want to like talk to any of us. Like just say hello and just commit. It's like I'm team A, I have an agency or want to start one. I have an agency and want to get AI as like agency services. Right? People who already have an agency. And B, business owners who already have an existing business. And for the agency route, we can group people in who want to start. But the main focus is on the people who already have an agency, like who already have sold that in the past. And that's then very simple. It's like, what qualifies as a business? Well, do you have a business? Are you a realtor? Like, are you a real estate agent? Are you a doctor? Like, are you a real estate agent, a physician, an attorney, a barrister, right? A physician, a barrister. A physician, a barrister, right? Do you have a company and staff and employees, or do you not? Or do you want to have an... And is that an agency or anything outside of an agency? That's the two paths that we're going to take a look at. And then when you go business route, the meta is you do a self-audit based on the theory of constraints, and you realize what you need to do to grow your business. Like, what's the most important automation? Also telling people the reality of it, like in order for something to get something working, you want to think of it as layers and iterations. Rarely is it really good on the first try. It may be, but realistically not. And that's fine. Like if you write about a new concept for the first time, it's not good. If you make your first video, it's not going to be good. It's like layers and layers and layers of of beauty put onto it. So that's the B route of business, existing business owners. And that's the meta. And then we're going to have case studies for existing businesses, and you're going to identify what you want to do with it. We have like a menu. It's a la carte. What do you like? A la carte, right? What do you like? Choose it from your menu. And I think also that requires of us leveraging more the case studies, like real world things. It's because it's been a bit abstract, like it's been not as useful, I would say. I know that's hurting a little bit, but like we gotta, you're winning in so many ways. I trust that you can hear it and you're not gonna kick me out. I think it's not quite as useful as it used to be. And that's all right. But you can win in this way if we really take a look at the case studies. But you can take a look at that. If you really take a look at the case studies of like who we've got, like what there actually is, like how many people are winning, who is selling what to whom. Perfect. Yeah, and so that's what we're going to do. Agency route and business route. These are two things. Fantastic. And so that was my live stream. And now I get people to clip that up again, right? The editing team that I'm continuously and consistently growing. Slowly, slowly, little by little. Finding that out. It is fantastic. That's what we do. And so with that, tomorrow we're also going to request the receipts of all of the software tools that we got. We got Zoom and Google, ChatGPT and Claude and Coolify. So we got Coolify because we're cool. And we got Hostinger and make.com. Right? Zoom, Google, ChatGPT, Claude, Google, Hostinger, make.com. What else did we pay for? Pay for all fees. Yeah, so that should already be sorted. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, good. That was a good day today.